And let's go to our exercise. Our exercise basically today is going to deliver a web page for us. We will create a VPC. It will create a public subnet. It will create a route table and do a route table association. And it will create a security group. And in the security group, we open port 22 for SSH and port 80 for HTTP communication. And there will also be an internet gateway there. So let's go to our VS Code and go and see these particular code. So this, if you check my GitHub link below, you will find this particular CFN sample, .yml. So that's what we are using for our exercise for today. And let's check it from the beginning to the end, and let's just analyze it a little bit. So you define it, 2010-09-09, based on, as I explained in my previous video, and you give a description. I only gave a description, example template demonstrating parameter mapping, condition. I just want to, demonstrate all these things for you guys. So metadata, I've explained this one, and you will see how it works in the template. That's one of the first things you will see, how it will group the parameters that we have defined. It's just for parameter grouping, in the console. So you will see something like instance configuration, key name, instance type, SSH location, all those things. And then we go to parameters. Now, I've told we look at parameters in my previous videos. Parameter is just a value that you allow you allow to be selected at the creation of the stack. So you will see all the environment. Then is it dev, is it prod, is it so dev and prod. And so we have key name. I will be able to choose the key name, the instance type, the default is 63 micro, SSH location, and we give the SSH location there. So that's the default SSH allowed CIDR for my SSH. So it allows every IP address just for the sake of this exercise. And that's mapping there. That's the top level key. This is the mapping name, the top level key, and the second level key. All right, so we also have conditions, and the condition here is production equals, so environment is production. So this condition will be true when the environment is when we're in the production environment, when we choose prod in the parameter. So we also have rules here. So as I explained the other time, rules are used for parameter validation, and they usually come with rule condition and some assertions. So I said the rule condition is optional, but anytime you don't define the rule condition, then the assertion will be true every time you are creating your stack or doing an update. So for this one now, the rule condition is environment must not be empty. So anytime the environment is not empty, then this rule condition become true. So we have an assertion there. SSH location must also not be empty. Anytime it's not empty, then the assertion become true. All right, so that's that. So we have resources. We are creating the VPC. So that's the VPC there. We gave it a CIDR block, and we gave it a tag. Then let's go down. I'm using a pseudonym here. I'm sure we are familiar with it. We already treated it last time. And we have the public subnet, and we're referencing the VPC. This is the name that we give to the VPC above. Where the VPC name there is my VPC, you can see. So we're referencing it here. All right. So we'll give you the CIDR block. Don't forget the CIDR block for your public subnet. It must be inside your CIDR for the VPC. So that's that. And this get availability zones, get AZS, like this is going to populate this with the availability zone, for the region we are using. So that's that, and it's going to select the first one. It's going to select the first one there. All right, so we'll give it a tag. We have the internet gateway. We have the route table. We have we create a route which allows the internet gateway from anywhere. And we did a route table association to the public subnet, and we create the security group. And in the security group, we are creating an ingress allowing port 22 from the SSH location, which is from anywhere. We are allowing port 80, from anywhere. Our web page, we need port 80 for that, right? And we also have the web server. This is the EC2 instance, and we have this metadata, which we have explained today. This is the CloudFormation authentication. We are authenticating for the S3 bucket, and we are giving the bucket name, and we are giving the role. And then we move to the CloudFormation init, and we have a config set, which we explained earlier, and we are defining these configs. These are the configs: install, configure, setup up. And install is to install HTTP Git. Configure is to set up this web page index.html file, and is going to put this content there load from CFN init. And service is to start the HTTP service. Setup up is to create the configuration files, for the CFN up configuration file. So it will put this content there. It will also set up this configuration file. It will put this content there. We are setting this up, for the CFN up, so that if there is a metadata change at any point in time, it will detect it and it will run the CloudFormation init configuration again. So that's that. Service, it will start, it will enable the CFN up there. So these are the properties for the EC2 instance. We give the instance type, we use the mapping here, and key name. So the security group, then the user data, it has to use base 64. And we come to our bash script. We have the shebang line, and we are installing the AWS CFN Bootstrap. You need to install this to have all the script that we need. Then we'll run the script. This is part of the script that is gotten from this installation CFN init, which is going to run all the metadata that we put in under CloudFormation init there. And we also have the CFN signal, which is going to signal success or failure. We give the stack name v-v is for verbose, so that we have enough details, from the output. And the resources is giving the resource, which is the resource name, the logical ID for the EC2 instance. Then we have the region, then the CFN signal. You have the stack. You remember this is going to give us, if it's a success, then it will be 0. Non-zero means failure. So stack name, resource, region, and we come to creation policy. We talked about it earlier, and we are giving it a 15-minute wait time. So after some signals of success, then it will mark the resource as created or a timeout, or it will wait for timeout. So I'm giving it 15 minutes. I expect that after a while it will be successful, and we'll move on. And this is the role. So we are creating a role, assume policy document. So the effect is allow. We're allowing the EC2 instance is an STS assume role, and we are giving it an S3 read-only access, so that the EC2 can be able to communicate with the S3 bucket. So we define some output here. The instance ID, that's the first thing we want, and we are giving it value of the logical ID of the instance that we are creating. I've explained to you earlier. You can check on the documentation and see what value you will get in the console when you use this with ref, as your value. So we also want to get public ID. We gave you this value, and you can check your documentation to see what you will get when you use the logical ID of the resource and the public IP like this. You will see it will show you. And we are also getting the web URL, which is going to give us the web server instance public IP address. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the console and let's go and create this. So this is the console and CloudFormation. So let's go to CloudFormation and click your create stack and click with new resource and leave it like this and upload a template file and choose a file. So choose the CFN sample.yml and you can click next there. Then you can give it a name that you want, whatever name that you want. I will just give it a demo stack, and you can see what I said about CloudFormation, the CloudFormation interface, which is just to group the parameters. If you look at, if you check it in the template, you will see it's one of the first thing on the template. You can see the CloudFormation interface. You have the parameter group. You have the instance configuration, key name, instance type, SSH location, SSH key pair. Let's see. You can see instance configuration, SSH key pair. Just the same way as we set it in the CloudFormation interface. It's just so I will choose a key pair, and the instance type has been populated with the default. The SSH has been populated with the default, and we will leave it at the dev environment so that it will not create the Bashan host. So we'll click next, then just scroll down. Sometimes you may want to change this stack failure option, to preserve some EC2 instance in case you want to do some debugging. But I will leave it like that in case there is a failure, it will roll back. All right, so let's acknowledge this, and for the IAM role, and let's click next and scroll down, review what you have set, and review everything you have set, and you will click submit to start creating the stack. So our instance is in progress. I just want you to see that it's waiting. The instance has been in creating process since. Is waiting. It has created the default route, and it has created a route table. It has created a security group. It has created a public subnet. It has created a role. It has created the internet gateway. It has created the public subnet and the VPC. So all those things have been created, but it's waiting for the instance to get provisioned. Under normal circumstances, it will have shown resource, or already running, but it's waiting for the provision to complete. That's the creation policy at work. All right, so after waiting for a while, now our stack creation is now complete. So if you go to resources, you will see all the resources that have been created. Today you can see all the resources that have been created. We have the security group, we have the EC2 instance, we have the public subnet, we have the route table association, we have the default route, we have the VPC. So we have the internet gateway, we have the role. So that's that. If you want to see all the output that we've selected, you can click the output there. You get the instance ID. the ID of the web server instance. You have the public IP, you have the web URL. So you can click the web URL and it will take us to the where you can see that's it. That's coming from the EC2 instance. All right, so so that's what I just want to show you. Or you can just copy this IP address, or you can copy it and just open your web page, put it there, and press enter, and the web page will open. You can see this is directly from our EC2 instance. All right, so that's that. In conclusion, now today we have checked the outputs. You can use output to export whatever resource you want to export, and another stack can use that export as import, and you use condition. We've talked about rules for parameter validation. We've talked about metadata. We have seen the 3 special metadata keys. We have done an exercise that deliver a web page, which we have seen it at work. So go back to the console and just delete your stack so that you don't. So while the stack is deleting, don't forget, if you want to try this, you can just go to my GitHub. You will see the link below, and you will see the CFN_sample there, and you can try it. So thank you for watching. That's today's video. I will see you in the next one.